Lots of you have the comment, avoid you, or avoid you in academic papers in the margins of your paper. This is how and why you should do that. So first, why does it matter? You talks directly to your reader and it asks him or her to put him or herself into the situation. So sometimes that's appropriate, and these situations are rare. So for example, one student wrote, a simple example of censorship is when you might be watching television and you hear a loud beep instead of the curse word that the person said. This is a place where you do want your reader to go exactly into his or her own experience and be able to relate to this example. So you here is entirely appropriate. However, most of the time that you, students, use the word you in your paper, it's more like this. Terror has been used in 1984, North Korea, and the rise of the Nazi Party, and leads to immediate unhappiness because you are in the constant fear of losing your own life or the life of a loved one. Since I don't live in 1984 or in North Korea or under the rise of the Nazi Party, and I don't live in the constant fear of losing my own life or the life of a loved one, I can't relate to this, and so you is not appropriate in this sentence, and that's where it shows up most often, is this generic you, and if it doesn't relate to your audience, you don't get to use it. So then how do you fix it? Because that's tricky, because it's in a lot of people's papers. Here's some ways that you can do that. So one way to do it is to change you to one, or people, or citizens. So actually name the group of people that you're talking about. So for example, a student wrote, terror impacts human happiness the most because it doesn't make you feel safe. You're scared for your own life and you can't pursue happiness. Instead, we're just talking about people. So we can change it this way. Terror impacts human happiness the most because it doesn't make people feel safe, or citizens of Oceania feel safe. They're scared for their lives and they can't pursue happiness. Another way you can change it, and I often do this, is to try to rewrite the sentence to make word changes like this unnecessary, because it does get clunky to say people, 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 or citizens, citizens over and over again. So sometimes you can just eliminate the part of your sentence that needs the you, and then you don't have to deal with it at all. So for example, by restraining people from the truth, you are brainwashing them into false information. I'm not brainwashing anyone, but I can change the sentence this way. Restraining people from the truth results in brainwashing them into false information. And now I've taken out any reference to you or people or one, and the sentence sounds just fine. So your job, if you have a lot of yous, is to figure out how you can fix these so that you only use you when you actually mean to directly address your audience.